What is up, everyone? It is Tuesday, October 8th. Today I had, unfortunately, a losing day. I took 3 trades, all 3 of them lost. They were longs. I was trying to target this draw on liquidity up here, if not this high, once again a new high of day. Off of the open, we had a massive expansion move, and yeah, let's get into it. So overall, on the higher time frame, I was initially bearish. We were having kind of bearish price action here on the 1 hour time frame. I wanted to see what this 9 o'clock candle from 9 to 10, how it was going to form. If we got a close above this bearish fair value gap right there, I would have wanted to look for longs targeting this high and this high right there as my 2 draw on liquidities. If we were going to reject that, then I was going to target this low and the sell side liquidity that I have down here. So that was the plan. And also it was the same exact thing on the 4 hour time frame. If you look, we had this bearish fair value gap on the 4 hour. If we got to close above that at 10 o'clock, then we were going to target up here. So we got that, made me bullish. And so I was looking automatically for a bullish setup after 10 o'clock. So if you've stuck around with me for a while now, you know that my model is, if I am bullish, I want to see a retracement down into a higher time frame PD array, creating a 1 minute bearish fair value gap, and then have that become an inverse fair value gap to then continue higher. As you can see, price at the open just pumps on up. We continue to just blast off with, I think we had some news here at 10, and price just starts to taper on down a little bit, very slow at first. And unfortunately, as you can see, there is no bearish fair value gap formed. So I sat tight. I kept waiting and I kept waiting and I kept waiting, and price just kept on going, and I waited some more. And the only trade that I did consider, but unfortunately I did not take, was if it retraced into this 1 minute fair value gap here, putting my stop below that swing low and then target this draw on liquidity. And I sat here thinking about it for a bit. And when I was like, you know what, let's just go with it. Let's give it a shot. My model's not showing up. I've used to trade this before. Let's try it. And then right when I'm about to put the order in, boom, we get this massive candle up. And I was like, that's it. I'm gonna wait for my setup to appear. And so, you know, we see that huge move on up, come in tapping this draw on liquidity. And I said, okay, we hit this morning objective. Let's see what price will do here. If we're going to retrace back, let me actually mark out a 15-minute fair value gap that we could retrace into. That was this one right here. It was in the middle of it being formed that I took it. So I figured, you know, we're gonna create a 15-minute fair value gap and potentially bounce off of it, but I'm gonna be a little risky and take it on right off the gate. Here we are retracing down into this fair value gap right there. I noticed this 1 minute bearish fair value gap that was created. Price then moves on up, closes above it. I market ordered in on the next candle, as you can see, put my stop below that low, and that was very quickly, boom, stopped out. I was already so frustrated because it was 10, almost 11 o'clock in the morning, and I hadn't gotten in on anything. I missed out on this complete move on up, okay? I was beyond frustrated, so I took that one. My first trade was a loss. Then I switched it up, and I actually took the reclaim of that inversion fair value gap again, which I shouldn't have done. This was on a second account. I have 3 funded accounts here with Apex. So I did this on my one, I took this one on my second one, and took this one on my third. All 3 of them wanting to target that higher draw on liquidity. So market ordered in, stop below this low. Fortunately on this one, I got stopped out right here because I manually closed it out. Seeing that price did not want to come back and create a new higher high after these 2 bearish candles, I was like, yeah, this is going to stop me out. So I manually closed that one. Moved on to my next account. Here we retraced down into that 15-minute fair value gap. I thought, sweet, here is a very good place for us to then move on higher. Here we get a bearish fair value gap. Price trades into it. It rejects off of that, comes down, fills almost this 1 minute fair value gap that got created. And then we get, boom, huge displacement on up. Great. At the next candle over here, I didn't like that close. I wanted to see a stronger impulse on up for continuation. I said, okay, sweet. It's still going to be a 1 to 3. Got in, market ordered in at this candle right here, put the stop below that low right there. Price then just completely tanks and literally to the tick stops me out. After those 3 trades, I said, you know what, I'm just going to walk away. I'm having a terrible morning and I'm not going to keep trading each of my accounts to then get stopped out some more and be deeper red and be more emotional. Oh, sorry, I thought that was a 1 to 3, 2.76. And just be so much more emotional over my horrible trading morning. So I walked away after these 3. I called it. I closed the charts. I closed Discord. I closed everything. because I didn't want to see anything and be tempted to get in. And then in the afternoon, I was like, all right, let's take a look at what's going on. I didn't take any trades in the afternoon, okay? I was just keeping an eye on it. And that 15-minute fair value gap that I had marked out, check it out. Do we have any body closures below it? None. No body closures below this. All right, price comes down. Then we create the next 15. We're still just hanging out within it. So because price is being held, and I still believed that that was going to end up being the draw, I could have looked for a bullish setup in the afternoon. If you wanted to be super conservative, right? You could have waited for this 15-minute fair value gap that got created within this one, okay, this bearish one, to then get inversed here after 1:45, 2 o'clock, okay? Could have looked for a setup at 2 o'clock. Let's drop into the 1 minute time frame. 2 o'clock rolls around. What's the setup? We look for a bearish fair value gap to then get invalidated, right? Here's one. Very weak candle closures. I would not have taken that one, right? Here's another one. Now we got one with displacement. You could have gotten in there, stopped below the low, came, stopped you out. Okay. Keep an eye on what's going on. Then we start to create this bearish fair value gap, which then price moves on up and strongly, after sweeping this low, strongly displaces above. Okay. Entry could have been there, stop below the low. Let's say you wanted to wait just a little more, just for further confirmation to make sure that this move was real. Here's your second entry. Price moves on up, taps this high of day, almost taps a high of day, starts to reject off of it, coming back into this 1 minute fair value gap, creates a bearish fair value gap within it as well, within that price leg right there. What do we get? Another candle with displacement back on up above. Okay, this first trade was a 1 to 8.8. This second trade was a 1 to 9.24. You market ordered in here, boom, runs on up. Maybe you took some profits off here, maybe put your stops to break even, you're good. Here you market ordered in, took some profit off at high of day right here, stops to break even, you're also good. You never got stopped out. Runners then go and run straight to that target. This was such an awesome trade, and I'm so upset this the second day in a row that I miss a PM session setup because I don't trade the PM session. Maybe I should start looking at it. Who knows? But I'm glad to see that my model, you know, here you would have gotten stopped out, could have gotten in, could have gotten in again. I essentially could have made back my losses from this morning. I guess price just wanted to have a deeper retracement, you know, seeing that it was holding that 15-minute fair value gap very well, especially after invalidating this bearish one here after 2 o'clock. Could have stepped into the 1 minute time frame, looked for the setup, boom, capitalized on this entire move right there. And let's see in terms of a quarterly theory perspective. It's in Q3. It is in Q3. We had accumulation manipulated on up. But sometimes, obviously, we don't follow quarterly theory to the T, where, okay, maybe you're thinking of a distribution down. You start to see, okay, what's happening? Oh, it may not be a distribution down. Then, boom, we get that move on up. Okay, as long as you're taking a quarter in Q3 where you know volatility will come back in. In Q4, it could have been seen as a continuation. You could have monitored to see, are there any bullish fair value gaps that are in discount, like this one, get invalidated? No, you're good. You can hold with confidence. So overall, the PM session was probably better for the model that I trade. I know some people got in here in this chop. I didn't. I wanted to wait to see, okay, are we for sure going to be bullish on the day? Yes, great. I'm going to enter in once after 10 o'clock. But, it happens. Risk management is saving me here. I'm only down just a couple of bucks on each account. Nothing crazy that I can't come back from. So I hope you guys ended up green today. It's only, what day is it today? Tuesday, right? It's only Tuesday. We still got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We got plenty of days to go. So I will catch you all tomorrow. God bless. Peace.